Hey, what's up guys? It's kolst here bringing you a bit of a special video. As the title tells, this is a game where we get to fatigue someone through double Reno the Relicologist. Hoping this game be as cathartic for you guys as it was for me. Now, this will be a bit different from my normal draft analysis videos. I'm not going to focus so much. I'm going to try to explain my thoughts a little bit, but, I'm just going to watch through this and basically just experience this with you guys. I'm actually talking in the beginning here about how I'm saying that this is a pretty good matchup for my deck. I'm actually playing like a pretty much as greedy of a priest deck as you can possibly imagine. The deck did actually reach 12 wins. This is the 10-2 game, so this was like kind of the big final test of this deck. I think the 12th game was a lot easier actually. But here it looks like I just completely didn't notice that it was my turn, and yeah. Now we get into the actual game. Hysteria getting value. Awesome, awesome. And here I just think, like, that's not worth the Shadow Word Pain. You have better targets from Mage and stuff. Also, if you're new to my channel, this again is coming from my Twitch channel, which will be linked in the description. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on what you think about this kind of format. We have other types of formats as well, like draft analysis and even full runs. For this type of video, I won't be trying to do all the crazy video and audio editing that I would do for my other videos, especially my draft analysis series, which try to squeeze all the analysis in possible. Kind of trying to go with the flow, have a more relaxed environment here. But again, this format will be more for capturing kind of fun moments that happen in the stream. Let me know, again, what kind of formats you guys like, because I'll make more of whatever content gets the best feedback. There is actually the Water Elemental, talking about really good Shadow Word Pain targets in the Mage matchup here. Gonna actually take advantage of that. Get a free damage onto the 2-2 as well, because why not? Yeah, just might as well look over the deck. I mean, you can see like we have a huge number of mass AoEs. We have double Entomb, double Mind Control. This is an absolutely insane list. And this list actually was before Priest was even buffed with the micro adjustments that recently happened as of recording this video. I think it was 1 week ago. So this was really quite the outlier. It would be an outlier now, but it was even more so at the time. Here we have our first, like, somewhat aggressive move. We get to put the Rap Golem out. Even in, Rap Golem is just such an insane card. And taking that trade there because, it's actually funny because I started talking about it right now, how it's almost impossible for a Mage to actually kill a Rap Golem from this board situation. Unless they have, like, exactly certain answers, like Fireball, Polymorph. I literally just said that right now. But little did I know, he may have top decked a certain card that we're gonna see. He's actually thinking about it. But, well, it wasn't his top deck, my bad. But yeah, that's kind of insane. Of course. And I'm a little salty at this point because, it was actually funny, like, before this point, I'd actually been pretty lucky in the expansion. I hadn't been hit by Reno very often. But I believe this was actually at least the 4th time in this stream, and that's what I'm saying right now, that I was actually Reno'd in 1 day, and this was only like 5 hours into my stream. So I may be slightly upset at this point. But yeah, we have a bunch of defensive tools in our hands, so we just need to survive. I'm actually gonna put a graphic up here showing the win rate of this card. Like Reno the Relicologist, that's just one of those cards in Arena. I'm not sure if you guys, maybe you play or maybe you don't or haven't encountered it, but it's just a card you just don't beat typically. Like about like a 74% played win rate, which is absolutely disgusting. I don't think there's ever been a card in the game that even really close to that. And you have to think even more about that because that includes games where someone doesn't even have Reno the Relicologist active. So even taking out those games that people would likely lose and they just have to play as a 6-mana 4/6, Reno still has, I think, easily the highest win rate I've ever seen. Just Speaks of the power level of card. That card makes even Zephyrs look bad, which is really saying something. Yeah, Zephyrs gives you the perfect card, but there is no card at the power level of Reno. And just for Arena, insane consistency. So here we do at least get the board clear, so the Reno will be taken care of for now. What do I get? As we have a little bit of dead time, if you guys are wondering, the um the names that are above my webcam, these are actually like people like it's rotating between someone, the most recent person that donated bits, the most recent person that subbed, and I think the most recent person that gifted a sub. So those are what those three names are, if you guys are wondering. Here we have a bit of a lull. He doesn't have a very great proactive turn 9, and we just put a big defensive guy, so we know at this point we are going for the long game, as we kind of expect to with this deck, frankly. Our goal isn't really to kill our opponent, it's just to stay alive. And, oh, that is a hell of a, mind control target, so we'll take those. Yoink. Easy smirk. At this point, we're like, oh, we already got Reno'd, and never mind. Forget everything. Card draw. Well, that's actually nice for us. Okay, that's less nice for us. Never mind. Oh no. Shadow Form's pretty nasty too. That's just an upgrade to his hero power. He gets a random Violet Worm. Oh, nice. Well, at least it goes into our deck, so. Yeah, what I'm saying here, like, well, it was bad. I mean, it was kind of horrific. He stole our board, or he completely destroyed our board, and even developed more stuff, upgraded his hero power. But it at least if that thing had stopped at 8 spells, that would have been a lot worse. I'm actually talking at this point about fatigue too, because of the psychic scream. We're actually very far ahead in fatigue, and that may become relevant later in the game. However, you can't be too happy about the hero power thing, because one of the advantages you actually are supposed to have as priest over mage is the fact that your hero power is stronger in a defensive situation, but when their hero power does the same amount of damage as yours heals, can't say that it's a bit of a bad thing, but you know, try to survive. Regardless, here he's not putting much pressure out, so might as well bless our opponent and get the Violent Worm out. Very important to bless your opponent while you heal their face. It's about sending a message. Oh no. He actually just kills our Violet Worm about as clean as would be possible. I've had, like, actually, one of the things I think I'm talking about, I've had really bad luck with Forgotten Torches, like, always top decking the Roaring Torch immediately. And I've had it happen where it doesn't happen, so for a while I actually thought that card might have been bugged. But I think I was just unlucky. I'm gonna be going on a rant for this for quite a while, actually. Now our opponent puts out the budget Violet Worm. This would be a bit of an interesting board to deal with. We're gonna have to stall out and try to get an AoE at some point, but we're almost gonna just be biding our time until then, I think. We do have pretty significant card advantage from our opponent. That was actually, I think, a really unlucky pull there. I think that was, out of all the possible cards, Neverset Rituals was probably the worst body we could pull, and it was also a card that we would actually like to have in our hand. So that was actually really unlucky there. Just can you imagine? I've had that happen to me before, where someone has a 214 and they ritualist it to full health after you've done a lot of damage. Like, imagine if we had a ritualist right now in our hand. It'd be pretty amazing. But in any case, that's pretty brutal. We're gonna have to, he's kind of taking control of the board again. I think we're gonna have to set up a mass AoE future. I'm thinking about how we actually do that. Part of the challenge is, you can't make it super, super obvious. Looks like we opt for the option of putting on another taunt just to kind of make things annoying for him, while also not developing a huge amount either. That is our last big taunt, which may be an issue. Now, this is something I don't like to see. The Servant of Calamos, so our opponent's going to catch up on value in a major way. Another Vile Worm. I should mention, like, we also, not only do we have like the double Entomb, double Mind Control, we also have a Wrap Golem and two Vile Worms. This deck is really, actually, I think that was the same. I think that was just one Vile Worm. That was actually the one that was Psychic Screamed back into our deck. My mistake there, but especially after that Psychic Scream, we have a lot of heavy stuff in our deck. That's gonna be kind of nuts. Oh man. And this guy's unlocking his infinite value. Servant of Calamos is really nasty too, because we've already encountered one calendar card, right? We know that Reno the Relicologist was active, and Zephyrs itself is also a elemental, so Calamos like is absolutely insane right now. I believe Siamat is also an elemental, so Servant of Calamos can give you Siamat, can give you Zephyrs, can give you not Reno at least, but just, and they can give you more Calamoses to give you more options as we've seen here. A really good card right now, if you can activate it. It looks here like I'm trying to think about how I set up a mass AoE. I'm actually already thinking about Fatigued. I don't want to give my opponent Excavate Evil in his deck if I can help it. Just because that's going to make him lose a little bit slower to Fatigue. And of course, he's going to have that tool against you in the future as well. But I was thinking about actually using Mass Hysteria that turn, but I think well, clearly I ended up deciding that a little later might be better. Here is where I probably get a little salty too. Oh man, he actually did get the Zephyrs. I'm actually I watched the first half of this game. I didn't actually remember what he may or may not have gotten. So yeah, that's kind of brutal. I'm thinking about entombing the 3/2 right now. I don't remember if I do. I don't think I do. I think I ended up deciding it was too risky. I don't remember actually. I think the problem with using that Entomb there is that you can't really deal with the entire board. So I actually just decided against it. The thing is I do have a lot of cards in my deck. So if you do it that way, you're not guaranteed to get the Zephyrs anytime soon. Actually a little surprised I didn't use the Excavate Evil there, but I guess I'm probably scared of like a counter spell because we don't know what that secret is right now. And we do have so even if it is like a counter spell, we can cast two Hysterias in the same turn. So as long as we just stall out, we should be okay. But you never know. Okay, well that's gonna need to be something we take. Yeah, there is the counter spell. So unfortunately, that does mean that we're gonna have to eat another another dream card out of that Ysera, but at least we didn't get the Entomb counter, because that would have been game over right there. However, at this point we are starting to take a bit of pressure from him. He has 9 power on board right now. It's getting a little spooky on it. But we've already survived through a Reno and a Zephyrs, so surely that's gotta be it, right? After we get to Ysera. This was a little scary because that secret could very easily just be another counterspell. But I think at that point we say like it's just not something we can play around, and fortunately it's not another counterspell, it's actually a mana bind. And actually I think we knew that it couldn't be counterspell too, because he did have the Highlander effect, and unless he had the first counterspell in his opening hand, which I don't think he did, then we actually knew that he couldn't have had another counterspell. Like he would have had at least drawn one before the Reno, but of course, that's actually one of the things that can be really frustrating to me, is when you go against the Reno deck. Because some people will, obviously, as I've mentioned before, they'll pick Reno with duplicates in their deck, it makes sense because it's such a powerful card, it's just worth it. But so sometimes you can't always take a hard read that someone won't have duplicates just because of that. Now that was pretty brutal RNG. That was about the worst mass hysteria could have gone there, I think. So it forces us to use the extra AoE there. So that's pretty brutal. Now more secrets. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up is how secrets are close to impossible to play around right now. Just because of how many there are right now. You can see like all the cards have different triggers. They have so many. There's 9 secrets, right? Yeah, 9. And you have spell secrets, splitting image, face triggered secrets, and different types of all of those. It's very hard to play around all of them at once. So it's very frustrating to play against those right now. It's part of the reason why I feel like it's so cathartic to deal with a mage in a game like this. Unfortunately, we do know that unfortunately the Flame Ward is going to trigger to get rid of our lifesteal. We do at least get to stay alive there. The issue is we do at least get a little bit of healing. We want to stay above 10 if possible, obviously, because for all we know, you could have a Power Blast. We are above 10, so I feel like we are safe enough to heal the minion here, but of course, again, we'll try to stay above 10 if we can help it. I was gonna say, like, I was looking at the Sarah, but we know that he has a 0 mana Entomb in his hand. We don't really want to give him an Entomb at all. At least not an Entomb that he wants to use. Obviously, we're gonna have to have minions on board, but it does look like he's going to be a tad greedy with it. He's actually going to use Dream just to try getting another 3-cost card. I'm not sure if that's the best use of that card, but I guess maybe it makes sense in his situation. He gets another secret. I don't know. But yeah, as I was saying, like Ysera is just not a playable card as long as he has that Entomb. And he knows that we have like the Ysera and the Living Monument in our deck, so he's not gonna be very likely to play it for something that isn't crazy value. This here is actually pretty fortunate. That's one way to play around explosive runes. Play a death rattle that heals you, so you don't have to actually take the damage. Nice interaction for us there. And this is where I lose my mind. Because this was a thing I've heard about before, but like this is like a legend of the double Reno deck. Which happens to be at 2 losses somehow, which is pretty amazing. This was definitely the first time I've ever encountered one of these. Heard of a few. I believe Dexter had one in the Twitch Rivals tournament, which is pretty I think he got a pretty easy 12-0 with that. But it was pretty shocking to see, honestly. The Scarab kicks yet another secret, which is pretty amazing. And this was a good draw, at least. We do get our Reno back. That kind of gives us safety here. We don't have to worry about too much as far as pressure. And we have officially gotten him into the fatigue range, so at least we're in a situation where we just don't have to do anything because, he's going to lose his hero to fatigue relatively soon. And as long as you can't put any pressure out, we're just safe. So we'll see what it is. But, like we just don't have to do anything. It's up to him to beat us. We're winning already, so we just need to wait it out essentially. Yeah, he realizes it. We don't have to do anything, and the game is over. Anyway, I hope this game was as fun for you guys to watch as it was for me. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you guys think. If you like this kind of content, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.